Josh, we hope you're ready to take some questions from our viewers. Let's get that first caller on the line right now.
Hi, Josh. It's Dee Dee from Hollywood. Just wondering if those rumors are true that you're just using your job as White House press secretary to get a job in the entertainment business.
Josh, what do you think?
Well, Dee Dee from Hollywood certainly would know a little bit about how to get that done successfully. I would say in the third week of December, when I was answering questions about the hacking of the Sony emails, I felt a little like I had a job in Hollywood. But certainly Dee Dee has shown that doing a good job behind the White House podium can lead to some really interesting career opportunities down the line.
All right, let's go back to the phones.
I think Josh is handsome enough for Hollywood, don't you?
No question. All right, let's go back to the phones. Next call, please.
Hi, Josh. It's Joe from D.C. I've got two questions for you. One, have you ever worked so hard and then overslept and missed Air Force One? And if you haven't, and you did, do you think the president would wait for you? Do you think he'd hold Air Force One for you?
Two good questions. Thank you, caller. Josh, what do you say?
Well, I'll let. I suspect that Joe from D.C. has a really interesting story about oversleeping and possibly missing a flight. But I'll let him tell that, particularly on television. I do feel pretty confident that if I were late for the motorcade, they would, without hesitation, leave without me.
Yeah, I think you're pretty good to have that confidence, Josh. Okay, let's get our third caller on the line. Caller number 3, you're up.
Hey, this is George from New York City. Thanks for taking the question, Josh. You know, I've noticed that you've gotten to some pretty good sparring matches with John Carl over at ABC. But my question is, which reporter in the briefing room do you learn the most from every day?
George from Manhattan asking a pointed question. Not dissimilar to one I asked you once before.
No, it's not dissimilar. I mean, I would say that my relationship with John Carl has not been the same since I came on your program a few months ago and told you and your viewers that he was my favorite.
Right. George wants to know who you learn the most from, though, Josh.
Who do I learn the most from? That's a really good question. You know, my colleagues at NPR have a habit of asking questions that are a little bit different than the other people in the briefing room. That usually means that they're better questions. Not always, but it often does.
But they're taxpayer funded.
Yeah, that must be it. That must be it.
Yeah. All right, back to the phones. Go ahead, next caller.
Hi, Josh. This is Ari calling from Pound Ridge, New York. I've heard that there are 4 TVs in the office of the press secretary, and I think they all used to be set on Fox News. I'm just wondering what station they're set on now.
Good question. Josh, what are you watching there?
Right at this moment, Bloomberg, I'm sure.
On all 4
Without
screens?
A doubt. Well, I'll tell you that since Ari's time in my fancy office with all the windows, we've actually taken those 4 television screens and used modern technology to put them in a box all on one screen.
The so-called quad split.
Exactly. It preserves a little desk space.
Yeah, so you can have more knickknacks.
All right, Jake. I think we have one more caller here for Josh. Let's get that caller on the line. Caller number 5.
Hey, Josh, Jake here from New York City. I understand you're married to a woman who's not only really smart and beautiful, but some people said she's even more qualified than you are to be the White House press secretary. What's the best piece of professional advice your wife has given you, and what have you done with that advice?
Good question. Thank you, caller. Josh?
That's a terrific question. Like Jake from New York, I married up. I'm pretty proud of that. I know that Jake himself is as well. A little-known fact, that my wife used to have the job that I most wanted at the end of the 2008 campaign, which is that she served as the Assistant Secretary for Public Affairs at the Treasury Department, it's a job that I know that Jake from New York knows quite well. But I think the best piece of professional advice that she gave me is to make sure that every time before I actually come on camera and do interviews like this that I blow my nose.
Josh, I have
I follow it every time.
Brilliant advice.